Hello everybody, welcome back to the Spoked Wheel YouTube channel. Today we are back with the fifth, I believe, installment of the Andy Schleck Pro Cyclist playthrough. Today on the calendar we've got 4 races here that I'm hoping to complete. We got the Porek Trophy race. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but it's a race in the Netherlands. Paris-Troyes, and then the classic Loire Atlantique. So my thought for this video is that these 4 races are probably going to be relatively uneventful. I think I'll show clips from the first one and the last one, and then go through these 2 flatter ones really quickly just to get through here. My goal for this video basically is to get through to the end of the month and hopefully level up once again. Depending on what we get offered to us, we might upgrade our attributes or even go for an upgrade in potential. And then once we get through these races, we just kind of go ahead and get into the rest of the season in later episodes. It's been a little while. I've been working on another video that's still in the works, so keep your eyes peeled for that at some point. But yeah, today we're back with Andy Schleck. Remember last time out we had a really nice upgrade to our attributes, particularly our mountain rating, so that's up to 74, which is a very good level for this point in our career, I think. So without further ado, we're going to get into the racing and hopefully earn enough XP points either through things we do in the race or just from the months changing over to once again level up and improve our rider. Alright, so we're into our first race of the day, and our team wants us to work as a teammate. They want us to ride at the head of the group for 30 kilometers at least. So there is some climbing to be done in this race, but it's probably not enough that I'm going to have a great chance at winning the race, so I'm going to have no problems with going ahead and doing that again to just try and get as much XP as possible and continue progressing our version of Andy Schleck here. Okay, so I completed my objective and then did a little bit extra as well, so in the end I did 41 kilometers at the front of the peloton. Should be enough to get that exceptional evaluation that we like to shoot for to get as many points as possible. And now that that's been wrapped up, I'm just gonna have Andy hang out in the peloton, hopefully get over these climbs in touch with the front group, and we'll pick it back up a little bit closer to the finish where we can see whether or not we have a chance at maybe potentially doing something over that last climb of the day to try and get a decent result. Alright, we're now inside of 12 kilometers to go. We're approaching the final climb of the day. We've been over it once already, and we're going to try an attack over this final climb and see if we can't do something. Not sure if it will work, but as they say, you can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. So we're going to try. It's steep enough, and it might just be close enough to the finish that it could be a perfect launch pad. So I'm going to try and move up here and stay as close to the front as possible to prepare for my attack. I have a feeling that other riders will probably have the same plan in mind. We might see some other action or a move or two to respond to. And yeah, no sooner have I said that than we see the moves starting. They're really drilling it already. Okay, so we're in a group of 14. We are certainly not the best sprinter. I forgot to use my energy gel, so I'm just gonna try and sit on here. No point in me really driving the pace, but it's going to be a decent result. Unfortunately, we weren't really able to get enough separation on that last climb, but still, 14th is not a terrible result considering a lot of these guys are pretty solid sprinters for the continental level. We've already seen Balkan there, the Turkish champ, win a few races in this playthrough, so 14th is a decent result on this race, I think. Well, we have indeed leveled up here to level 4. I opted not to commentate on that race, which the name of which I could not pronounce because I didn't think anything exciting would happen, and that turned out to be quite a mistake on my part because I ended up finishing 6th in that race, which was my first top 10 in the continental ranks, which earned me a ton of XP points and enough to level up. So it's a little unfortunate, but I'm glad that we leveled up. It was a crazy race. It was hillier than it looked like on the calendar, and things just kind of split up, and I was in a good position towards the end, and I managed just to get over the line in 6th. So I'm glad that we're leveling up. Let's take a look at what they're giving us. Okay, so we could get up all the way up to 76 mountain, which is very solid. Those upgrades to recovery and stamina are also very good. What would be the difference there? Maybe +1 time trial and -1 acceleration. The question is, do I keep upgrading, or do I do the potential while I'm still early on in the season? I think maybe I'm going to take this upgrade to get that mountain rating up to 76, and then next time around I'll do the potential, because 76 is a very solid level. Like, I think we could get decent results with that. So that will tide us over for a while. So I'm gonna do that. The question is, do I want that 1 point of time trial, or do I want the acceleration? I think I want the 1 extra point of time trial. That would be better in the long run for the Grand Tours and whatnot. So we're gonna take the stage races specialization this time around. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And once again, we're gonna complete the attentiveness skill point tree. So now every time we start a new month, we'll get the most points possible, which is good news. And now we get to go ahead and play this race. This one looks like it actually will be flat and uneventful, so probably won't show anything from this one, but then we'll finish off with this race. Alright, we are now in the final race of today's video, the classic Loire Atlantique. And once again, our team is asking us to do the role of teammate. They want us to ride for 30 kilometers again. We're going to do that, and then as you can see from the map, it's pretty hilly, and I have a feeling it will split up quite a lot in the closing stages of the race. So once we do our work at the front of the peloton, we're just going to try and keep ourselves in the best position as possible, so that we can stick around towards the end and hopefully get another decent result at the end of it. We are now into the final 15 kilometers of this race, and it has been absolutely crazy. We've had a couple different teams, FDJ, AG Desert, Cofidis as well, Wanty, riding really hard at the front. As a result, things have split up tremendously. We're now in a peloton of 19 riders as we approach the final 10Ks. I was able to get 30 kilometers at the front. It was pretty difficult because, like I said, there were teams that were riding really, really hard, which made it tough to get up there. Now we've got Benjamin Thomas, Tony Gallopin kind of at the front making moves. So it's been a crazy race. We have a decent chance here at another solid result on the day. For a day that I was thinking it was just going to be about getting through the races and earning XP, we've actually had some pretty solid results. But yeah, this race has been crazy. Action all over the place. We'll see who in this group wins. I'm certainly not going to win a sprint from this group, but there's also not really a great launching pad to try and go on the attack and win it. Let's see. I think I'm kind of too far back. Ooh, I got blocked. And blocked again. But if no one goes with me... Nah, they are going with me. I needed to have a clear path there while we were still on the uphill. But it will be another decent result, another top 20 or so. So we're able to 14th, very nice. We're able to stay in contention late in these kind of hilly Ardennes type of races, which is encouraging, and it makes things interesting. So it was a fun race to play, another decent result on the day. We had our first top 10 today with that 6th place in the Netherlands as well, so that was good. I mean, like I said at the start of this, obviously the main focus would be trying to win Grand Tours, but I also do want to be able to contend in races like Liège-Bastogne-Liège, which Andy Schleck won in 2009, of course. Also finished on the podium, 3rd, I think, in that race in 2011. So that's also an important part of this playthrough, is being able to contend in that sort of races. So we finished up with all our racing in March. I'm just gonna simulate ahead so we get the XP from finishing the month, and then I'm gonna wrap up the video. Okay, so we're into April now. We got our bonus for the month. We're now 122 out of 200 points, so we're getting towards leveling up once again. And as you can also see, our contract negotiations have begun for next season. So I'm gonna pay attention to that in the next video. That's something to look forward to. Hopefully we'll be able to get a contract with a pro continental team, or maybe even a world tour team, and move up and be able to do some of the biggest races. But again, I'd say today was another successful step in the career of Andy Schleck 2.0. That 76 mountain rating is very solid for a continental rider. That will enable us to do quite well in some of those mountain heavy races that we have later on in the season. And who knows, maybe by that time we will even have upgraded again and be even better in the mountains. But overall, I would say things are progressing well. We're getting close to getting into our second objective of the season. We're progressing nicely, and I think things are going well for Andy. As always, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you liked the video, liked the series, be sure to hit the subscribe button or drop a like to make sure you stay up to date on the videos that will be coming out in the future. Like I said at the start, we're going to keep going with this playthrough, of course, but then I also have another video on the way. It's going to be sort of like a Pro Cycling Manager challenge video, where I try and play around and see if I can complete challenges that I set for myself. So hopefully if that video turns out okay, I'm going to try and do more of those in the future. So if that sounds appealing to you, make sure you stay tuned. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and as always, I'll see you next time.